Do you feel like you got what you wanted out of that exercise?
Yeah, the horse, a lot to be made about the horse, but if you ask myself and Shane Doan, we loved it, but we grew up around horses, but it was fantastic. The way, the whole point of that is to do something a little bit different, but with a point of leaving the players thinking maybe a little outside the box. When you do a development camp, you're trying to develop these guys as much on the ice as off the ice. And so with Jeff Davis and what he was able to do, tying in the ability to, trust, respect, teamwork. The horse is sort of like a young prospect developing, and the way in which they work together. I thought it was a really unique exercise. I think quite a few of the players liked it and were a little bit surprised. They didn't know what they were walking into, but at the end, a lot of good comments. So I think it worked out.
Last year, Nathan Mays was kind of an amusing story for us last year, last player picked and all that. But he's here again. He's had better numbers last year. What do you think of his development within the last year?
Yeah, he's really improved. I think Nathan, if you saw him in this camp, he's got flashes of offensive ability. He's scored some really nice goals in the WHL, and for him, it's finding the sweet spot of who he is going to be as a defenseman. Is he more of a defensive defenseman with an offensive ability? But he skates well. He's got good hands, and he's a big body out there. And so I thought he had a good camp the last few days, and he's kind of coming out of his shell a bit as well.
Any kind of marching orders, or whatever, from these guys? Resource materials to take home during the summer? What's your message there as far as that?
Yeah, for any of the players that are in our organization, we have everything available to them, whether it's strength and conditioning, nutrition, on-ice opportunities. That's all there. And the advice is take advantage of it. It's here for you. The free agents that will follow along, and if they are in our system at some point in time, they'll have the same opportunities. But there's everything a player could want available here, and it's just about taking advantage of it.
Some of the prospects were saying that it was cool to see Tavares on the ice skating and looking like he's on top of his game on Friday. How much of that is helpful for you guys in the development program? How much can you hold him up as a role model?
Well, it was interesting when Mark Giordano spoke to the players yesterday. One of the players asked, who are some of the best pros you've ever been around, and his first answer was John Tavares. I've trained with John myself over the years, and he's just the ultimate pro. He doesn't leave any details unturned, and he has a plan for himself. And so one of the cool things about doing development camp is we have these guys that are skating before some of the pros that are in town. So we give the players a chance to watch them, ask them questions, an opportunity to just see, that's what it takes to get to that level. And John is the epitome of that.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Giordano's speech you mentioned, for the undrafted guys, for the guys who are maybe have a bit of a longer path, how valuable do you think that was?
I think there's a lot of players sitting listening to Gio that said, that's me, and that could be me. The career that he had being undrafted, coming in, and eventually winning a Norris Trophy is really an incredible story. But when he starts to speak about the road and how much commitment and effort and what he learned along the way, I think probably those players sitting there listening go, I can do it, but boy, it takes a lot of work to get there. And so it's nice to have these guys around that can just share stories very informally with the players. I think they get a lot out of it.
That was my question. Perfect.
Sorry, what do you hope to see different out of Ben's game when he comes back for training camp?
I don't think Ben has to do anything different. He just needs to be more of what he is, which he's a great skating puck transporter. He can play physical when he has to. He's great at playing up in the play. I think just the calm around his game, picking his spots more, knowing that he doesn't have to do two different jobs on the ice. Sometimes he tries to, because he skates so well, you can skate yourself right out of the play a little bit. And so it's just actually calming that down and being a little bit more of who he is and trusting in himself. Yeah.
You were friends with Mano Rayom. What it was like having Nick here? He mentioned that you have a relationship with his aunt.
Yeah. Mano and I still are, but we were really good friends when we played on the national team together. She was a mentor to me, and I really admired how she navigated that whole NHL situation and just was a great teammate. So, when I see Nick, I see Mano. They look similar in a lot of ways, and he's just a really nice kid and wants to play professional hockey so badly, works as hard as he possibly could. So that whole family with his dad, Pascal and Manon, like that, there's no surprise that he's willed himself to this point in his career. Yeah.
What are you going to remember about this week?
I feel like last year coming in, I was a bit nervous and everything. This year, I got to soak in a little bit more, maybe because I wasn't as stressed out and stuff, knowing a lot of people coming into this. Yeah, I think the 3 days that we were on the ice, it was really helpful. We worked on transition, rush, and compete, and they really wanted us to know that that's kind of what the NHL game revolves around. So I'm really going to take that away from this camp, knowing those things. It was a bit of an eye opener. A lot of give and goes, a lot of chips. You got to move your feet at all times. So that was really helpful to to get to know that kind of stuff.
What's an example of something that you learned this week? It's obviously all about development. You hear off the ice seminars. You mentioned the on the ice. What's an example of something that you think you learned this week?
Yeah, there's so many things from all the seminars we're doing, from the video that we're doing. Nothing in particular stands out. Like I just said, the stuff that we worked on the ice, was really helpful. We did a lot of power skating. We were in the gym working out, doing all that stuff. It was helpful, being comfortable around here this year. It helped a lot, having confidence and stuff. So, so that was good.
Is there anyone that stuck out to you in this camp most specifically?
I thought a lot of guys, worked their, they worked really hard this camp. I didn't think anyone, left anything on the ice. They left it all out there. So, I thought everyone, was really good. I thought everyone was good, to be honest. So.
You were the top pick coming in last year. Koblar, the top pick coming in this year from the last draft. What stood out to you about him?
He's really good hands. Someone who's very, he's got a really good shot. Even watching him out here just 10 seconds ago, I think he just went bar down 4 times in a row. So, I think he's going to be a really special player soon to come.